Good morning, students. Today we will read our first chapter from First Flight book, and the name of the chapter is A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. G.L. Fuentes was a Mexican novelist, poet, and journalist. Students, as the name of the chapter seems unusual to us, but as we go through the story, we find it quite usual and interesting as well. Lancho, who is the main character of the story, can be seen as naive and gullible character who has unshakable faith in God. My dear students, how many of us believe in God? We always say yes, we believe in God. But how many of us believe in God to such an extent that we try to communicate with Him? Not many of us, right? This is something unusual about the character Lencho from the story A Letter to God. Now let us move on to the story and see how it goes interesting. Lencho was a poor but hardworking farmer. His house was on the top of a hill and was the only house in the entire valley. He hoped for a good crop. For that, he needed rain. He waited for the rain and it did come. One day, it started drizzling. In the beginning, Lancho felt the raindrops as new silver coins. But gradually, that rain transformed into a hailstorm. The hailstones lasted for an hour. It destroyed Lancho's crop completely. His heart was filled with sadness. He thought his family would go hungry that year unless they found someone who could help them. All of a sudden, his heart was filled with hope. He had firm faith in God. He knew how to read and write. He wrote a letter to God and asked for money so that he could sow his field again. He addressed it to God, went to the post office, affixed a stamp on it, and put the letter into the mailbox. Postman who took the letter out saw it and showed it to the postmaster. When he showed the letter to the postmaster, then the postmaster laughed a lot. Not only the postmaster, but the other employees of the post office, they also laughed after seeing Lancho's letter. Immediately, the postmaster became serious. He didn't want to shake Lancho's faith in God, so he decided to help the man. He asked for money from his colleagues for this act of charity. They collected money, put it in an envelope, and addressed it to Lancho. One word only it was there on the letter, that was God. Next Sunday, Lencho went to the post office. The postman gave him the letter. Lencho was not surprised after receiving the letter from God. Why was he not surprised after receiving the letter from God? Because he had found faith in God. He knew God will help him in the form of money, and he did receive it. But when he opened the envelope, he counted the money, he got angry. He found 70 pesos only, though he demanded 100 pesos. My dear students, what is the meaning of peso? Peso, that is the currency of Latin American countries like Mexico, Argentina, and Spain, etc. So we can say that story belongs to these areas. Lancho knew that God could not make mistake. So he wrote another letter to God, put it into the mailbox, and went out. The postmaster took out the letter from the mailbox and opened it. Lencho had requested for the rest of the money, that is 30 pesos, as he got 70 pesos only. Lencho was of the opinion that post office employees, they had taken out his money. So this time he wrote, God should not send the money through mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Bunch of crooks means a group of people who are cheaters, people who are dishonest. So this was the story, A Letter to God. Students, what message do we get from the story? This story gives us a very strong message that if we have firm faith in God, then definitely it is rewarded. As Lancho's faith, that is rewarded in the form of money that he got from the post office employees. So I hope that you have enjoyed the story. Thank you. Thank you very much.